All right, what's going on, guys? So I'm back with another Sunday watch list. This is the last Sunday watch list of 2023. I just want to say thank you guys, and I appreciate each and every single one of you guys that watches my Sunday watch list. I really do hope that you guys do find a lot of value in these. But with that being said, it's been a great trading year. Let's start off 2024 really, really strong and just continue to learn and get better, right? But with that being said, let's get right into it, right? We have SPY. Let's start off with SPY as always. So first things first, right? If we go to let's stay on the 4 hour chart for now. The 4 hour chart on SPY, if we scroll all the way back here, notice how around this 474.82, notice how up here we get rejected. And then down here at this 474 level, we have some reactions, right? So we have a rejection here, break above it, and what do? We hold that level, right? So we start to hold that area. Now we come back into that area as of recently, and that is the area that is struggling to get a hold above. So this area is struggling to hold above, right? Now, we did try to get a break above it. We went to 476, but then we completely rejected that area, right? So 476 is going to be that key level that I will be paying attention to this week to see if we break above that, because literally above that level, we have nothing but room back up into all-time highs. But that area is currently being used as a supply. As you can see, we kept coming into that area and we keep getting rejected off of it, right? Seller step in here, and then seller stepped in on this day, which was Wednesday as well. We got a really, really big sell-off. And after that sell-off, we have been scaling up slowly. We've been grinding back up slowly. A key level to pay attention to the downside is going to be this 471. I'm gonna highlight some of the levels on as to why I have this level. Notice how here we have multiple bounces here on this day. And then on this day, we have some rejections pre-market, and we try to hold, and then we get a rejection here. So we have multiple touches off of that 471. That is going to be a key level of interest. If I go to 15-minute time frame, you'll be able to see it a little bit better, right? Even back here, we have some holds. So that 471 is also correlating with this trend line that is currently holding up over here. So there's two scenarios at that 471. We can either wait to see if this holds for potential bounce to go back long, right? Or the break and retest below 471 should give us room back down into really like 469, 470, and this recent low of 467.48. Now that is the final level that is holding us up before we head lower, right? If we were to get to the downside, that is the final level that is going to be holding us up down to 464 and so on. So pretty simple game plan as of right now on SPY. This could be a potential right shoulder if this does end up playing out. Right, we got the left shoulder, we have the head. And if we do continue to get rejected up here, that could be the right shoulder that could initiate that. But we always have to stay open-minded, right? That 476 level is the final level, is the last level that that has been preventing us from going higher. As you guys see multiple rejections off of it. That will be a level to pay attention to. Four more upside back into all-time highs at 479 to 480. Then we can watch for rejections up here or break and retest up there, right? Going into QQQ, this 409, this 410 to 410.50, let's say, has been reacting as supply. These are basically new all-time highs because the previous all-time high was this level that I highlighted here, which was 408.73, right? We broke 408.73 and we didn't go much higher after that. We did grind up a little bit. We had this rising wedges that has been forming for a while now. You guys can see that we had that rising wedge. And what did we do? We broke down, right? We broke down. Here we are. After that sell-off, a lot of people get faked out and continue to try to go short. But we had GDP the very next morning. And overall, we make a slow grind up back up into those highs. So far, we got a rejection off that area again on Friday. We want to see how we react off of that all-time high again for another potential reject, or This 406 level is a very important level to pay attention to. I like this a little bit more than SPY. Notice how we do have some rejections here. Break above, we retest, we hold it here. And we have more holds here. And Friday's low was at 406.5 level. Let's go to a smaller time frame so you guys can see it a little bit better. Pre-market lows Friday, lower day on Friday. We have multiple bounces and rejections off that 406.52 level. So that is a level that I will be paying attention to either for a break and retest to the downside or move back down into these recent lows that sold off from these all-time highs. We sold off down into here. So I'm definitely seeing a retest of that level. That could definitely be a possibility. That's going to be a high probability setup that I will be paying attention to. If we start opening up below and we start grinding down to these levels, watch for a potential bounce here or a break and retest of this level, right? So those are my levels to the downside. Now this 406.63 can definitely hold, right? If we continue to hold up this area, this could be a nice bounce level as well for a move back up into all-time highs. So I will be looking at price action at this level to determine my risk reward ratios depending on what happens at that level for upside or downside. I think that is a level to pay attention to for this week on QQ, keeping it short and simple, right? For individual tickers, let's go into Apple. You guys can see that we have been getting rejected from these all-time highs and just continuously making lower highs, right? So from these all-time highs over here, we did break, unable to hold, and we've just been making lower highs. Looks like it is getting a move down to this recent structure point at 190, 185 to 191.42. That is a potential area we could catch a bounce off of, or a break and retest below that gets us back down to 188. So that could be a potential good setup for Apple. Not my favorite, but it's a potential setup, right? Let me go into Microsoft is a name that is showing a little bit more relative strength than some of the other ones as everything's selling off right now. Microsoft looks a little bit stronger, has like this inverse head and shoulders. And as long as it holds above 374, this looks like it can start heading into 478s and pretty much all-time highs. Not too interested in Nvidia or AMD this week. They're a little bit extended. Wait for key levels. Wait for a better setup on these. Meta. Meta is actually a crazy one this year, right? From, everyone was really scared as this was selling off below 100, right? Imagine getting leaps down here at 100 and just holding through all of 2023 from 100 all the way up to 350, which is pretty crazy, right? Those leaps on these, a company like Meta is not going anywhere, right? Like everyone uses Instagram, Facebook. It's hard not to, put your money in these, especially when they're down so much. It's a great company, right? So looking at Meta right here, I don't really see a major setup yet, other than this supply right here that we were recently trying to get a break and hold of. You guys see how this supply from back here got rejected multiple times, and here we are right now, currently getting a break and hold of that area in confluence with this trend line that is holding up. So as long as these areas hold up, we can start heading back up into these 457 levels. So keep an eye on that. If it does break back below that supply zone of 451, definitely expecting a move back down into like 440, 346. So Meta's looking good for either or this week as well. Showing a little bit more strength than other names on the weekly time frame, breaking through key levels of structure here. So definitely pay attention to that. Google also looks like it is showing a little bit more relative strength than these other names. On the weekly time frame, Google looks great, right? Like this is pushing up into that recent supply zone at 143.6 to point 0.7. That looks great. We just broke the recent high here at 141.24. We want to see holds above this 141.20 to 24 for a continued move back up into that supply zone, right? Once this trend line here does break down though, I'm expecting a short-term reversal, right? Like that pullback that we should get, but still a slow grind up into that 143 level. Looks pretty good on Google. Tesla, not seeing much just yet. Looks like we should be coming back down to retest this zone I'd keep an eye on 246 to 244 for bounces here. It's in confluence with that trend line that we broke. And just that recent zone that has been getting rejected back here. Let's see if we retest and hold that area. That is going to be a key area to pay attention to. If we do break back below that, I am expecting a sell-off down into 230, only if it breaks below that zone though. It's going to be a good bounce area if it holds. So, all right, so market is closed Monday because of Christmas. And then we have Consumer Confidence Tuesday. Not too major. It's always good to pay attention to that at 7 a.m. There's always some type of reaction. Jobless claims Thursday. And then, yeah, we should be pretty good this week as far as economic data. So let's see what we get this week. Those are some of the setups I'll be paying attention to. Sticking mostly to SPY and QQQ, but some of these other names like Google does look like we should get a nice grind up. And Tesla, definitely pay attention to those zones for reactions at those areas. And then, Apple is a big market mover as well, heavily weighted into the S&P and QQ. So let's see if this continues to sell off from all-time highs. Other than that, I hope you guys have a good Christmas, and I hope you guys have a great trading week as well.